it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we finally have the full movie of What If Goku Never Met Krillin. I'm pretty sure this is like my longest video yet, because this one had the most parts able to put into a movie. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And just to warn you guys right off the bat, the audio for parts 1, 2, and 3 aren't really the best, as that was before I really got a mic, so everything doesn't sound as great. But I didn't want to go out of my way to like re-record it, because that would take a lot of time that I don't have. So, I hope you guys can just bear with it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video.
In this scenario, he decided to stay at Orin Temple and show up his bullies. So when Goku shows up to train with Roshi, he would be down a training partner. With nobody to really compete against, Goku would be significantly weaker than he is in canon, due to basically being all by himself while he's training. The World Martial Arts Tournament would go as normal for the most part, just with Krillin not being there obviously. The final match between Goku and Jackie Chun would lean more in Jackie's favor, since Goku isn't nearly as strong as normal. After the tournament, the Red Ribbon Army arc would play out about the same, until Goku and Bulma go into the Pirate's Cave, and this time, they wouldn't split up, since Bulma obviously wouldn't feel comfortable going off by herself with no protection. Goku fighting General Blue would go on normal as well, with the mouse still running by and saving Goku's life. Now when we get to the Baba tournament, it's only Goku, Yamcha, Appa, and Puar. So Yamcha would go up first against a Vampire Man, and I'm pretty sure he'd face the same end as Krillin did in canon. Appa and Puar would still defeat him as normal, however. Goku would then have to fight the Invisible Man, but I'm pretty sure Goku could track his movements by sensing the vibrations, and also, Goku has the nose of a bloodhound, so we could most likely sniff out his opponent and take him out pretty fast. The rest of this arc would take place as normal, and 3 years pass for the next tournament. Yamcha would still train with Roshi, but again, his training wouldn't be as effective as it was in canon due to Krillin's absence. The tournament would go mostly the same again, with some regular strong guy taking Krillin's place. After the match with Tien is when Goku goes back to get his power pole in Dragon Ball, and once he enters, he is immediately attacked by Tambourine. Now, Goku would be far stronger than Tambourine normally, but due to him being exhausted after his fight with Tien, he doesn't put up as well of a fight as he would have normally, and he is knocked out. Luckily for Goku though, he made enough of a racket that the others heard and came to check it out, and find Tambourine about to kill Goku. Tien and Roshi would step in and put a stop to him, but Roshi is too weak, and Tien is still tired from his match as well, and they are easily beaten as well. Right before finishing them off, Chaozu holds Tambourine in place with his telekinesis, and Tien unleashes his most powerful Tri-Beam, which vaporizes Tambourine. After the fight, everybody is confused on who that monster was, since the piece of paper with Piccolo's insignia was disintegrated along with Tambourine. So as of right now, the group have no idea that King Piccolo is behind all of this. The group returned to Kame House to rest and wonder who exactly that monster was, and if there are any more of them. King Piccolo would obviously sense the death of his son, and send Symbol to find out who could have done this. Symbol goes about tracking the whereabouts of the group, but it's going to take a while since they are far gone from the tournament arena. Since the group at Kame House also have no idea that Piccolo is after the Dragon Balls, Piccolo has no competition in tracking them all down, and unfortunately for Yajirobe, he is killed by King Piccolo, due to him refusing to hand a Dragon Ball over. Once Shenron is summoned, the sky goes dark, and the group is in complete horror that this new enemy seemingly has gathered the Dragon Balls. But, unfortunately, there is nothing they can do at this point, and Piccolo wishes for eternal youth. On the news, Piccolo announces that he is going to take over the world, and Roshi is frozen in fear, remembering the Demon King from so long ago. Once Goku awakens, he has gotten a slight Zenkai, but he isn't in any condition to fight, but says he needs to go after the monster who tried to steal his Dragon Ball. So Roshi, Tien, and Goku head off to the King's castle to take Piccolo down. Once they get to the castle, Symbol and Drum are sent to hold off Tien and Goku, while Roshi attempts to seal Piccolo away with the Mafuba. Symbol notices this, however, and sends a beam straight at Roshi, which makes direct contact, and the Mafuba fails. With the last of his energy spent, Roshi collapses to the ground, dead. Goku explodes in rage and quickly kills Drum out of extreme anger, similar to what he did in canon, and launches himself towards Piccolo. Unfortunately for Goku, he is still nowhere near as strong as the Demon King in this scenario, and he is easily killed as well. With both Roshi and Goku dead, Tien has no fighting chance whatsoever, and he is killed not too long after them. With Earth's strongest warriors defeated, King Piccolo goes off to rule the rest of the Earth. The remaining group really can't do much either, and all they can do is just watch in terror as Piccolo takes over the world. The only one who could possibly stop Piccolo is Kami, And after all these years, Kami has perfected the right move to end Piccolo's reign of terror once and for all, without ending his own life. Kami comes down to Earth, and after greatly surprising Piccolo with his appearance, he successfully uses a Mafuba and seals Piccolo away. Once Piccolo is sealed away, and Mr. Popo deals with Simbo, the world is saved, and the two return to the lookout. Now, even though there's nobody who's going to ask Kami to restore the Dragon Balls, I believe Kami would do so on his own, since he knows that there are Earthlings down on Earth who will do the right thing and undo the destruction caused by Piccolo. And so, once the Dragon Balls are restored, Bulma gathers them all up and revives everybody who was killed by Piccolo and his men. Once Goku is revived, he would be extremely disappointed in himself that he wasn't able to defeat Piccolo, and he would train himself intensely to make sure that he'll be able to face threats like this again. At the next tournament, it goes on with 3 major omissions. Krillin, obviously, but also there's no Shen, since Kami has no need to participate, and the biggest one, Piccolo Jr., since he was never created due to Kami stealing away the original King Piccolo 3 years ago. Tien and Goku would most likely be in the finals together again, and this Goku is much weaker than he would be normally, due to him not training with Kami, so he would be just slightly above Tien. And for the first time, Goku would win the tournament, and he would still get married to Chi-Chi and have Gohan. Earth would see peace for a long time.
That is until Raditz shows up!
Raditz demands Goku join with the Saiyans, which Goku would obviously still refuse. Raditz would still steal Gohan as normal, and this time Tien would join with Goku and going to get Gohan back. But unfortunately for them, it's not enough. The two of them have gotten a little stronger since the last tournament, but Goku for sure is way weaker than his canon self, and the two can barely make a scratch on Raditz. The only real attack that could injure him would be the Tri-Beam, but Tien would most likely be able to fire it maybe once or twice on Raditz, which would damage him for sure, but not kill him. Raditz would easily be able to defeat the two, with him being disappointed in how weak his younger brother was. Seeing his father die, Gohan would explode in rage and still attack Raditz, and this would greatly injure Raditz for sure, but wouldn't be enough to take him out. Raditz would be amazed on how strong his nephew is, so he would take Gohan with him and leave the planet, and sell it off to Frieza, and the Earth would just become another Frieza planet. And now, Gohan would be raised to be a Saiyan killer for Frieza by his uncle and Vegeta. He last left off with Gohan being taken in by the Saiyans and forced to train under them. Of course, Gohan wouldn't exactly be enjoying this at all, but there is nothing he can do to get out of this situation, as Vegeta and the others are way stronger than he is. Except, Gohan comes up with a plan. If these Saiyans train him up more and make him stronger, then he may be able to defeat them and return back to his mom on Earth. Except right now she's a slave under Frieza's rule, and he doesn't even know if he'd be able to find her. After a long while of torturous training under his uncle, Gohan has indeed gotten a lot stronger, basically to the level of where he was in the early Saiyan saga, maybe even a little stronger. He goes out on missions with the Saiyans to destroy planets and sell them off, and he can't bring himself to kill anybody, which greatly annoys Vegeta. Vegeta begins beating on Gohan himself for being a sniveling little weakling, and this beatdown enrages Gohan, and he beats down on Vegeta with strength that seemingly came out of nowhere. Vegeta wasn't expecting Gohan to explode like that, and is beaten around pretty badly, but he is able to fight back, and once Gohan realizes what he's doing, he loses his power, and is knocked out by Vegeta. Raditz thinks that Vegeta is going to kill Gohan now, but Vegeta is actually quite impressed with Gohan. He finally sees where Raditz was coming from, about Gohan's rage boost, and if they can control Gohan's rage, they may be able to finally rebel against Frieza. Later, the Saiyans get information about the Namekians, and that there is one on Earth with magical wish-granting Dragon Balls. Except before they could get him to use the Dragon Balls, the Namekians self-destructed, and the Dragon Balls turned into stone. So, the Frieza forces are going to go to Namek to see if there are any other Dragon Balls there. Vegeta laughs at this, as this is the opportunity they've been waiting for. If they're able to go to Namek to take the Dragon Balls themselves, they could wish for immortality and finally destroy Frieza. Gohan wouldn't exactly want to anger Frieza, but he does remember his dad telling him about the Dragon Balls. So if they manage to get them all, he could wish for his parents back and return home. Once the Saiyans make their way to Namek, Frieza immediately detects them and realizes what they are going to do. But once he gets his wish, he can finally dispose of all the Saiyans himself, and rule the universe without the fear of a Super Saiyan. Dodoria manages to kill Mori, Dende, and Cargo and get the Dragon Ball, since Gohan isn't in the area to stop them. As Frieza goes around to find villages, Vegeta and the others find villages themselves and destroy them to get the Dragon Ball. Under their noses, however, Gohan allows the few to escape since, again, he isn't like the others at all and doesn't want to kill anybody. Eventually, Frieza's gotten all but 2 Dragon Balls, and he instructs Zarbon and Dodoria to go search for other villages. And the Saiyans use their scouters to track Dodoria, and they all gang up on him to take him out. The Saiyans would be pretty strong since training with Gohan has increased their powers by a bunch, and Vegeta is just a slight bit weaker than he was in the original Namek saga. So having 4 Saiyans fighting him at once means no contest, and Dodoria is easily defeated. The Saiyans then track down Zarbon, and while he is stronger than Dodoria, 4 of them fighting is enough to severely cripple him. Zarbon does manage to transform, and then fights back and quickly knocks out Raditz and Nappa, while Vegeta and Gohan fight together to hold him back. The two do take quite the beating, but with Gohan's rage increasing and Zarbon already being severely injured, the two do manage to kill Zarbon. With Raditz and Nappa knocked out, Vegeta tells Gohan to leave them since they were too weak to fight back. And Gohan snaps at him, saying that if Frieza finds them, they are going to die. But Vegeta could care less and says he'll blast Gohan out of existence along with the other two if he refuses to come along. Gohan's rage is slowly building, but he does still remember the plan to get his home back, and reluctantly follows Vegeta. Vegeta and Gohan come across Guru's home and go to take his Dragon Ball, but Nail steps in the way to stop them. Nail instantly knocks Vegeta unconscious, and before he can do the same to Gohan, Guru tells Nail to stop, since he doesn't sense any ill intention in Gohan. Guru reads Gohan's mind and finds all he wants to do is get his parents and home back, and he tells Nail to join Gohan as the two of them can go find the Dragon Balls and save Earth. Nail and Gohan go to Frieza's ship, and Nail distracts Frieza by blowing up one part of his ship, while Gohan takes the Dragon Balls from the other side and quickly escapes. Frieza is enraged that the Dragon Balls have been stolen from him, so he goes off to go and find Vegeta and the others, and get the Dragon Balls back. Gohan and Nail return to Guru's and go to summon Purunga, and after finding out that the Dragon Balls can grant 3 wishes, a voice speaks in Gohan's head. It's Goku. Goku tells Gohan that he's been training in the Otherworld with King Kai and has gotten much more powerful than before. He says that Frieza is most likely going to find and kill them all soon enough, and they're going to need help. So he asks that they bring him back to life with 1 wish, and then use the 2nd wish to bring him to Namek, so he can help out. So, Goku is revived and brought to Namek, and has a tearful reunion with his son, who he hasn't seen in quite a while. With the final wish, Gohan wishes for the Earth to return to what it was before Raditz showed up, and all of the recently built Frieza strongholds and his men are teleported off the planet. With that, Purunga disappears, and Guru wishes him all luck, and he passes on. Goku, Gohan, and Nail find Vegeta, and Goku threatens Vegeta, saying that if he tries anything against them, he's dead meat, and that they're going to need his help against Frieza. Speak of the devil, Frieza then instantly shows up, after flying to the place where he saw Purunga, and he is not happy that he couldn't get his wish. Frieza goes on the offensive, and Goku battles it out with him. Now, Goku would have been training with King Kai for a lot longer than normal, and over the course of his training, Goku would have been able to basically master the Kaioken, to where there's no strain whatsoever, and he's able to push it up all the way to times 40. He'd also probably be on the level he was when he first arrived at Namek in canon, which would be around 90,000. Of course, this is no match for first form Frieza, and Goku would have to use times 6 of Kaioken to fight with Frieza. Frieza would be angry that Goku is able to match him, and he transforms into his 2nd form, which instantly overwhelms Goku, until he reaches times 15, and is able to once again clobber Frieza. Vegeta would be in absolute shock that Goku was able to fight off Frieza, as only about a year ago he was killed by Raditz of all people, and it just doesn't make any sense. Gohan is just happy that Goku may actually be able to defeat him, and they can go home and be in peace. Frieza is getting really annoyed now and goes right into his 3rd form, but times 25 Goku would easily be able to catch up. Frieza has finally had enough, and is going to end this, so he transforms into his final form and finally gets the advantage. Even Goku using times 40 wouldn't be enough to fight him off, so Nail and Gohan intervene to try and help. Goku's last trick up his sleeve is to use the Spirit Bomb, and he attempts to charge it up while Nail and Gohan distract Frieza. Of course, the two of them can't do much, and even when Vegeta comes in and try and help, it's completely useless. Frieza then goes to destroy Goku before he can launch the Spirit Bomb, but suddenly, Raditz and Nappa body slam themselves into Frieza, and this slight distraction is enough time for Goku to throw the Spirit Bomb at Frieza. Nappa and Raditz get out of the way, as Frieza does his best to hold the Spirit Bomb back. Now, this Spirit Bomb would be a lot stronger due to Goku having a better handle on its power than in canon, except he doesn't have the strength to push it back, similar to how it was in the Buu saga, and Frieza is able to put up a better fight than normal. Except, remember those Namekians I mentioned Gohan let escape earlier? Well, they arrived on the battlefield and tracked down Nail, and as a last resort, they let themselves be fused into Nail, which gives him a tremendous boost in power. And with this new power, Nail launches himself towards Frieza and gets him in a full Nelson, and the Spirit Bomb is pushed into them, and Frieza is completely vaporized. After the smoke clears, Gohan looks for Nail and finds him buried in the rubble, gravely injured. He was able to survive the Spirit Bomb due to having a pure heart, but it was the explosion that mainly got to him. Nail tells Gohan that they managed to save Namek, and he's happy that he can rest easy knowing that he avenged the Namekian people against Frieza, and Nail passes on. Gohan is extremely sad and angry, but Goku tells him that maybe they can find the Dragon Balls on Earth and revive him. Vegeta and the other Saiyans are mesmerized by Goku's strength, and of course Raditz and Nappa would most likely be more loyal towards Goku now since he managed to help save their lives, rather than Vegeta, who left them to die. So, the Saiyans find Frieza's ship, which is in bad shape but able to fly, and they return to Earth. Once the group return to Earth, Gohan is finally reunited with his mother, and after months of torture, he is finally back safe and sound. The rest of the Z fighters were all alive as well, besides Tien, who unfortunately died fighting alongside Goku. King Kai contacts Goku and says that with the Guardian of Earth dead, the Dragon Balls are gone too, so there are currently no more Dragon Balls left in existence, that they know of. Gohan is very sad that Nail can't be revived, but he won't be forgotten, as he is one of the reasons that they all survived.
We last left off with the Saiyans all returning to Earth after killing Frieza, and getting used to life back on Earth. Vegeta and Nappa stay off at Capsule Corp after Goku told the two that there would be the best place for them, and Raditz stays at Goku's house. Raditz and Goku have made up after Raditz apologized for killing him, as he was just following orders from Frieza, and if he didn't at least bring back one Saiyan from Earth, he most likely would have been executed. Goku forgives him as Goku does, and is just happy that he has a good training partner again. Gohan, however, can't forgive his uncle. He was the one who kidnapped him and forced him to kill innocent people for almost a year. Raditz tries his best to apologize to Gohan, but Gohan isn't having it, as just saying sorry doesn't work for him, and he locks himself in his room, not wanting anything to do with Raditz. Chi-Chi takes Gohan's side on this one, and tells Goku that she's going to take Gohan and leave if Raditz stays here any longer. And Goku doesn't want to lose his wife and son after he just got them back, so he tells Raditz that he's going to have to leave. Raditz understands, as he was a terrible person for what he did, and he flies off. Raditz goes off into the city, and finds a job as a delivery man, since he can drop off and deliver packages super fast with his flying. At night though, while Chi-Chi and Gohan are sleeping, Goku goes off to train with his brother, to improve himself, and to get to know Raditz better. Through their training, Goku has been able to push his Kaioken to times 50 without any strain, and he also teaches the basics of Kaioken to Raditz after he shows interest in it. Raditz, of course, wouldn't master it right away, but the most he could do as of now is times 3. Eventually, King Cold and his men arrive on Earth to get revenge for what happened to Frieza. Once King Cold arrives, the Saiyans all arrive to fight with him, and Vegeta and the others get knocked down easily. But once Goku uses his times 50 Kaioken, he's able to easily wipe the floor with Cold and finish him off. Once Cold is defeated, a purple-haired boy comes out of nowhere and tells Goku that he was remarkable and far stronger than what he heard in the stories. The boy reveals that he is from the future, and a man named Dr. Gero is going to create androids that completely destroy the future after everybody is killed, and after Goku dies from a heart virus. He also reveals that his name is Trunks, and he is the son of Vegeta and Bulma, and is the last Z-fighter on Earth. Goku is surprised to learn this, and asks if there is a way that they can survive. Trunks gives Goku the heart medicine, and then says that there is one way that everybody can grow even stronger now, and be able to match the androids when they eventually arrive. Trunks then transforms into a Super Saiyan, and asks Goku for a sparring match. Goku goes Kaioken, and even though Trunks is a Super Saiyan, Goku is able to put up a pretty good fight against Trunks, and give him a tough fight. Trunks is blown away, and tells Goku that if he is able to access the Super Saiyan form, and the other Saiyans can as well, then the androids won't stand a chance. Trunks makes his leave, and Goku begins to train to access Super Saiyan. After a couple weeks of nothing, Goku asks Vegeta for more information, and of course Vegeta only knows the legend from back in the day, and didn't believe it was actually true. So the Saiyans would then train together to try to access the form. Goku would eventually be the first to get Super Saiyan, after months of intense training. Of course, Goku realizes that this power is massive, but it's actually equal in power to his maximum Kaioken. Goku attempts to combine this new Super Saiyan power with his Kaioken, and since Goku has mastered Kaioken, it's pretty easy to combine the two. Of course, he can't access the higher multipliers without killing himself, but with more training, he should be able to. Raditz is the next to get the form, since he's been training with his brother so much. Once Vegeta discovers that the two low-class scum have gotten it and not him, he explodes in rage, and becomes a Super Saiyan just from this. It takes Nappa a little bit longer, but after being Vegeta's personal dummy, he eventually gets angry enough with this and transforms himself. After about a year or so, Gohan finally confronts Goku about his training with the Saiyans. Gohan explodes in rage, saying it's disgusting that we can train with the people who tortured him and forced him to kill innocents for over a year, and they don't deserve to be on this planet, and treated like they did nothing wrong. Raditz was the one who forced Chi-Chi and the others into slavery, and that many Earthlings were killed by Frieza's soldiers because of him. And here he is, facing no consequences for his actions, and is a happy man now. Goku snaps back, saying that the Saiyans did all of this because they were forced to by Frieza. They were tortured for years by the tyrant, and if they disobeyed anything that he ordered, then he'd have them killed himself. And if Raditz never came to Earth, then Frieza would have found them eventually and killed them all, and he'd still be out there enslaving more races. Gohan kind of understands his father's point, but he knows deep down that the Saiyans enjoyed doing what they were doing. He was there with them, watching them commit genocide on entire races, and they had huge smiles on their faces, and they laughed as they killed. Those images will never leave Gohan's mind, and he can't stay here anymore if his father is going to associate himself with those mass murderers. Gohan rushes off, and Goku doesn't go after him, as he knows he just needs time to cool off, and hopefully he'll come to understand why the Saiyans did what they did, and come back. Gohan flies off to the mountains, angry at everybody and everything, and just cries, not knowing what else he can do to make this pain go away. This is when a strange old man comes up to Gohan, and tells him that he knows why he ran away, and he knows what harm these Saiyans can cause. Gohan asks how he knows about the Saiyans, and the old man says he got everything taken away from him by a Saiyan a long time ago, and him and Gohan want the same thing, the Saiyans to leave the planet. And since Gohan is a smart boy, maybe the two of them can work together and find a way to make sure the Saiyans see the consequences of their actions. Gohan agrees with the old man and asks him what his name is and what exactly he can do. The man tells Gohan his name is Dr. Gero, and all Gohan has to do is follow exactly everything he says.
We last left off with Gohan leaving his family to work with Dr. Gero. After a few days, Goku still can't find him, and Chi-Chi is losing it at Goku for allowing their son to run away. Goku tries to explain to her that he just ran away to cool off, and eventually he should return. Chi-Chi tells him that he better find Gohan, or else. Goku continues searching the planet, and more days pass with nothing. Goku asks Raditz if he can help him out in finding Gohan, and Raditz sees this as an opportunity to get Gohan to like him, if he helps search for him. So Raditz goes ahead and helps search, but still, nothing. Goku thought he sensed a little bit of Gohan's ki in one location, but it disappeared too quickly, and nothing. 1 year passes, and then another, still no Gohan. Goku has been reluctant to return home, and he spends most of his time searching the planet for Gohan. He couldn't be dead, could he? He contacted King Kai telepathically, and Gohan hasn't shown up on Otherworld, so he's still alive somewhere. King Kai tries his best to look for Gohan on nearby planets, just in case he went off-world, but still nothing. It's at this point that Goku wishes they still had Dragon Balls so he could wish for Gohan to come back. But alas, there are no Dragon Balls on either Earth or Namek, and since all of the Namekians are dead, he can't even ask one of them to make more. This is the point in time when the androids are supposed to show up, so Goku and Raditz make their way to the location Trunks told them about, and just hope that maybe they have answers on what happened to Gohan. After a few minutes, they see an explosion in the city, and are confused. That must be the androids. But if it is, why can't they sense their energies? Questions for later, they need to investigate fast. The two Saiyans track down the androids and are in complete shock. They encounter 19 and 20, but somebody else with them as well. Gohan. But they can't sense his energy at all, and he looks a little different. What happened to him? Goku goes up to his son and asks why he sided with these two, if they're very clearly murderers. Gohan doesn't say a word and launches himself at his father. The two fight it out, with Gohan not emoting at all. His eyes are glassy, as if he's in a daze. Goku knows something isn't right, and Raditz can see what happened. This Gero must have kidnapped Gohan and experimented on him, as Gohan is a pacifist and wouldn't hurt anybody unless he had to. He knows that from experience. Raditz transforms into a Super Saiyan and attacks 19 and 20, demanding that they turn Gohan back. 19 fights with Raditz, and Raditz is able to match him in power, but 19 is able to get a hold of Raditz and drain him of his energy. Raditz isn't the only one being drained of his energy, as Goku is wearing down as well, except it's not because of the androids. It's the heart virus kicking in. Since he's been non-stop searching for Gohan all this time, he hasn't returned home to take his medicine, and has collapsed from the strain. Gohan readies a beam to kill his father, but suddenly, the attack is negated, and Gohan is sent flying straight into 19. The two androids look up and see two more Super Saiyans smiling, Vegeta and Nappa. Vegeta claims that he is going to be the one to kill these two low-class clowns, not some cheap robots. Plus, he thought that Gohan hated fighting, and that was the reason he ran away in the first place, so why is he obeying this old man and clown? His will is stronger than that. Gohan still isn't all there, but seeing Vegeta sparks certain memories in him, and they aren't pleasant ones. Gohan rushes Vegeta, and Vegeta blocks him easily, and begins to pummel Gohan into the ground. Nappa fights against 19 in the meantime, but he saw the energy absorption used on Raditz, so he looks out for the hands and is able to completely destroy 19. Jiro is pretty nervous and demands Gohan stop playing around with Vegeta and show his true power. Gohan instantly stops and powers up, knocking Vegeta away. Gohan begins to scream and his hair rises up and turns golden. Gohan has successfully transformed into a Super Saiyan, which is something his body unfortunately unlocked when he was being tortured and experimented on by Jiro. Gohan attacks Vegeta once again, and Vegeta has lost quite a bit of energy beating down on Gohan. And Gohan hasn't lost any energy at all, since he's still an android and has the infinite energy engine inside of him. Nappa realizes that Vegeta isn't doing so hot and joins in on fighting against Gohan. The two Saiyans working together slows Gohan a little bit, but his smaller size and infinite energy gives him the edge he needs against them. Jiro laughs and keeps yelling at Gohan to finish those dirty Saiyans off, and get his revenge on them. And suddenly, Jiro's head is sliced clean off. He looks around confused. What just happened? Trunks looms over Jiro, disgust on his face. This isn't the android Trunks expected to come across, but it's still an android, and he's done something to Gohan which is unforgivable. Trunks stomps on Jiro's head, killing the doctor, and turns his attention back to Gohan. Vegeta and Nappa fall unconscious to the ground, and Trunks rushes up to Gohan, trying to stop him from killing them. Gohan doesn't know what to do now, as his master is gone. Who is he going to take orders from now? He notices Trunks is a Super Saiyan though, and his prime directive is to kill all Saiyans, so he attacks Trunks as well. Except, Trunks talks back as he defends himself against his master. He tells him that he knows him, that he never wanted to hurt anyone, and he was dragged into this mess unwillingly, but even though he was forced to kill, he doesn't have to this time. He managed to resist the Saiyan's hold on him last time, so he can resist Jiro's control now. Trunks is getting through the Gohan, as Gohan clutches his head in pain, telling him to stop talking. Trunks keeps going, however, and says if he continues to listen to Jiro and try to kill the Saiyans, then he is no better than the Saiyans themselves. At least they're fighting to protect the world now, unlike him. This last line snaps Gohan out of it, and his control is broken as he reverts back to base and collapses. Trunks wipes away his tears and he picks up his fallen master. He was able to save Gohan this time, which is something he failed to do before. Trunks takes Gohan and the others back to Capsule Corp, where they are all given senzu beans and Goku gets his heart medicine. Chi-Chi shows up at Capsule Corp and watches as Bulma and Dr. Briefs do their best to wake Gohan up. It takes a couple of days, but Gohan eventually awakens. His last memory is trying to come up with ideas to get rid of the Saiyans, but he was injected with a drug to put him out, and he was experimented on, transformed into a monster. Gohan cries into his mother's arms, and keeps telling her he's sorry for worrying her, and he'll never leave her again. Raditz apologizes to Gohan again, saying he's a changed person now, and he's been helping Goku now for 2 years to look for him, and bring him back. Gohan has suffered enough, and tells Raditz that he forgives him, as now he knows what it's like to be under somebody's control. Which is exactly what Raditz was to the Saiyans and Frieza. Vegeta and Nappa just scoff, but Bulma forces them to apologize as well. Gohan asks Trunks how he managed to bring him back, and Trunks says that he knew Gohan very well in the future, and something similar happened to his Gohan. So he said all of the things he wished he said to his Gohan, and it worked. Gohan also hugs Trunks, and thanks him for saving him. Of course, after the happy reunions, Trunks says that the only problem they have now is that those androids they were fighting weren't the ones from his timeline, and he believes that the ones he's looking for are at Jiro's lab. Gohan says he'll happily take Trunks to the lab to try and redeem himself. Chi-Chi yells at Gohan that he can't go, but Gohan tells her he's just going to head over there to help out and save others from suffering the same fate as him. Gohan and Trunks arrive at Jiro's lab, search it, and discover 17 and 18. Trunks is ready to completely blow them away, but Gohan stops him and says that these two are just like him. They were turned into androids against their will, and they should be given a second chance just as he was. Trunks of course doesn't want to listen to Gohan, as these androids completely destroyed his future. But he does see Gohan's point, and he can't disagree with him, so he decides to take them to Bulma, so hopefully she can reprogram him. Before they leave, they also find 16's pod, and take him along as well. Unfortunately, right as they go to leave, Trunks is knocked out by a weird bug creature. Cell. Gohan has no idea what this is, but it's obviously a threat. Cell just laughs at Gohan and tells him to step aside as he needs these two androids to become perfect. Gohan isn't going to let this weird bug creature get his hands on the two, as he feels it's his duty to protect them and not let what happened to him happen to them. Gohan turns Super Saiyan and battles it out with Cell, and Gohan is actually able to beat around Cell easily. Becoming an android increased Gohan's powers so great he was on the level of 17 in terms of power, and with Super Saiyan stacked on, Cell stands no chance against Gohan, no matter how hard he tries. Plus, infinite energy and stamina helps too. Gohan finishes off Cell with a full power Kamehameha, blowing him out of existence. Gohan reverts back to base and wakes Trunks up. Trunks asks what just happened, and Gohan explains that he just saved the androids from a weird bug creature who wanted to absorb them. Trunks at this point is just done with everything related to Jiro and the androids, so he then turns around and obliterates Jiro's lab completely, wiping it off the face of the earth. No present Cell in this scenario. The two Saiyans return to Capsule Corp, and Bulma begins her work on reprogramming the androids. Bulma is luckily able to take out the Kill Goku programming and alter their memories slightly to have them not attack anybody. The moment arrives when the three androids are awakened. Of course, they are all confused on what happened and where they are, and Bulma says that they managed to find them from Jiro's lab and set them free, but unfortunately couldn't revert them back into humans. The androids understand this and actually thank Bulma for helping them out and saving them. Trunks is weary, but after talking with them a little bit, he realizes that they really are completely reprogrammed and nothing like what his androids are like. This 17 even wants to be a park ranger for crying out loud. After adjusting to their new android bodies, and after more tests from Bulma, 16, 17, and 18 go out to live their new lives. Bulma was also able to use the programming that she found in the androids to create an emergency shutdown remote for Trunks, since the androids in his future are way too far down the path of evil. Trunks thanks his mother, and says goodbye to everybody in the past, as he departs back to his future to finally put an end to his androids. Once Goku wakes up, Gohan rushes over and hugs his father, apologizing to him for fighting before they left, and he's never going to do that again. Goku hugs Gohan back and says he understands why he ran away, and he's just so happy that he's safe and sound now. He's also really happy that Gohan is made up with Raditz and the others, and now he can finally be happy with his entire family.
Kick off this part with the beginning of the 7-year time skip. Goku is back to full health, and Gohan is made up with the other Saiyans. Of course, Gohan isn't immediately going to start training again, because he's just gotten back home for the first time in like 3 years, so he's just going to adjust to what he missed before training anymore. Raditz is welcomed back into the house, so he's able to train with Goku to his heart's content. They all continue their lives while adjusting to the fact that Gohan is an android. He's aging so much slower, so even after 7 years, he still looks mostly the same as he did when he became an android. He does have different features, which shows he has been growing up, but it is very much slowed. Another important thing to note is that Gohan's power hasn't decreased any in these years. With his new android body, he retains all of his power constantly, due to his body being wired that way. So even though he doesn't train as much as his dad, he can still match up with him. When Gohan does train though, he gains extreme boosts in power. As we've seen from Android 17, he got astronomical boosts in power without even needing to train. All he did once he became a park ranger was just fight off poachers, and with just doing that for over a decade, he was somehow able to go on par with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, which is actually insane. Now, even though Gohan doesn't train as much as Goku, he still trains, mainly because Goten has still been born, and he wants to train with his brother. Goku of course trains with Goten as well, since that's just how he bonds with his sons, and he wants the best for Gohan, so he has him join in as well. Goten is much stronger now as well, due to him having a tail, because even though it's not pictured, Goku still has his tail, so Goten would still get his as well. Gohan did have his tail, except Jiro moved it when he was converting him into an android. Gohan's brief sprouts of training over these 7 years have gotten him all the way up to where his ultimate form was in terms of power. That's right, this android Gohan in base is stronger than Ultimate Gohan was at the end of the Buu Saga. Goku and Raditz have managed to unlock the Super Saiyan 2 in this time, but still haven't gotten anywhere near Super Saiyan 3, since their bodies can't really handle the mutation while alive. Except, they've gotten something better. Remember, Goku has mastered the Kaioken, and he can boost the levels very high, going up to a max of times 20 while in Super Saiyan 2, which is an extremely high multiplier compared to the Super Saiyan 3, which is only 4 times Super Saiyan 2. Raditz is right behind Goku in terms of the Kaioken, since he's been training in it for so long as well, making it to times 20. Now, everybody is leagues ahead of where they were in canon, and I'm going to rank them like this, and I hope I get to greater than and lesser than signs right this time, or I swear to God. Vegeta and Nappa have continued to train at Capsule Corp, with Vegeta being very ticked off that he can't compete with Goku and Gohan in terms of power. He's been pushing himself extremely hard, and Nappa and Trunks just go along with it, since they want to get stronger as well. Now we're heading right into the Buu saga. We're not going to have a great Saiyaman arc since Gohan isn't going to high school due to him being too young, so he stayed homeschooled. Now with Gohan never meeting Videl, there's no need to go to a tournament. So Shin arrives at the Sun household and informs everybody about the threat of Majin Buu arriving. He knows Goku is the one who killed Frieza, so he has to see his full power, wanting to know if he's really worthy to help fight against Buu. Goku can sense that this person is telling the truth about Buu, and he wants to help in any way he can, so he unleashes his full power, blowing Shin away. Kibito is extremely shocked on seeing how strong this mortal really is, and how he's using a godly technique as well? Impossible. Shin is more than impressed, and asks the others to come along with him, and Goku and Raditz are willing to, and Gohan says he'd love to, but he's got a bunch of schoolwork to do. And Chi-Chi won't let him out of her sight anyways. Goten asks if he can come along, and of course, Chi-Chi doesn't want another Gohan situation, so she doesn't allow him to go along. Of course, Goten doesn't listen and goes off anyways to help. Vegeta and Nappa sense Goku's power-up, so they went off to investigate as well, with Trunks going along too. The group have no idea where Babidi is hiding, however, since they don't have Slopovich and Yamu to track down this time. So as they wait, they return to the Supreme Kai's planet, so they can train under Shin until they can track Babidi down. Now, remember, this is actually a month before Babidi enacted his plan, and the reason Shin arrived so soon is due to the tremendous powers he was sensing on Earth, due to there being so much more training done every day. Goten and Trunks are trained by Kibito on how to harness their powers, while Shin has Goku practice with the Z-Sword. Once he manages to pull it, Vegeta is even more jealous now. While even with him training with Goku now, he's nowhere near powerful enough to compete. Nappa doesn't exactly have as big of a problem, as he's content to train with Raditz. He's just along for the ride because Vegeta was. After a month of training, Shin decides to test out the Z-Sword's full power on Kachin, and of course the sword breaks and Elder Kai is unleashed. Elder Kai thanks Goku for freeing him from the sword, and says he'd like to repay Goku by going ahead and doing the ritual to unlock his hidden potential. Goku is more than willing to go along with this, and he begins the ritual, except as soon as they do, Shin spots Babidi and Dabura beginning to get energy from the earth, and they need to go down and stop him now. Goku wants to leave with the others, but Elder Kai tells him that that's not really worth it, and if the ritual is interrupted, Goku may die, and he doesn't want that now, does he? Goku is pretty shocked by that, and elects to stay behind, while the others go along. Shin and the Saiyans all go down to Earth to confront Babidi and Dabura, but they were prepared. Dabura instantly kills Kibito, and turns Raditz and Trunks into stone statues. Dabura then baits the others to go after him, and Vegeta is obviously angry on his son turning to stone, so he goes after Dabura to finish him off. Vegeta, Nappa, and Goten have no trouble defeating Yakan and Pui-Pui, and Dabura knows he won't be a match for Vegeta by himself. So, Babidi does the only thing he can think of to get more energy. Babidi unleashes the evil in Vegeta and Nappa's hearts, trying to get them under his control. Shin and Goten try their best to talk them out of it, but it's no use. And Majin Vegeta and Nappa are born. Even though Vegeta is a Majin now, he still wants to prove he's the strongest Saiyan, so he goes off to wail on Goten and Shin. Before he can kill them though, Gohan steps in Vegeta's way. He could sense something going on, but didn't want to step in until it got serious. And his brother almost dying is serious enough, so he begins to battle it out with Vegeta and Nappa. The two have gotten insanely strong, with Shin's training and the Majin Curse. Gohan is able to fight them both off, since he's way stronger than they are, but they just won't stay down, and Gohan has to unleash more of his power. With 3 Super Saiyan 2s fighting all out, Buu is given more than enough energy, and is reborn. Buu's sheer aura alone snaps Vegeta and Nappa out of the Majin Curse, and they watch carefully to see what Buu is going to do. Dabura chastises Buu as usual, and he is turned into a cookie and eaten as normal. With Dabura dead, Raditz and Trunks are brought back, and encounter Buu with the others. Gohan tells Raditz to watch Vegeta, as he's going to go in and fight off Buu himself. Gohan can sense Buu's energy, and while it is immense, he believes if he goes all out, then he could be able to defeat Buu. And, unlike canon, Gohan is correct in his judgment. Gohan goes all out in Super Saiyan 2, and completely demolishes Buu. Even with all of Buu's magical and wacky abilities, they are no match for Gohan's strength and technique. He has infinite energy, so he can unleash his full power without any drawbacks, and give Buu a good clobbering. Of course, Buu doesn't exactly get tired, he just becomes way more angry on how this boy is completely demolishing him. Gohan is saddened by how this being keeps standing back up and fighting, and he doesn't want to kill him, but feels like he has to, since he's really the only one strong enough to finish the job. Unfortunately for Gohan, this moment of hesitation proved to be his downfall, as Buu separated a piece of himself and used it to capture Gohan. The others watch in terror as Gohan is absorbed by Buu, and Buu's power multiplies hundreds-fold, as he becomes leaner in stature and dons Gohan's clothes. Buu laughs and tells the others that as of now, they have absolutely zero chance of winning. Buuhan is beating the crap out of all the Z fighters, with nobody being able to hold off the Majin. Vegeta, Nappa, Raditz, Goten, and Trunks all lay defeated on the ground. Buuhan is way too powerful for them, and there's nothing that anybody can do. Luckily, Goku arrives before everybody can be taken out. Goku looks slightly different too. His hair is raised up like when he was a Super Saiyan, but it's still the normal black. Goku is now in his ultimate form. Even with Goku's ultimate form, will he be able to match up with Buu? Right now, I'm gonna say no. Goku tries his best against Buuhan, putting up a great fight right off the bat, but Buuhan is just way too powerful. Buuhan is even stronger than Mystic Gohan, and while this boost from Goku is great, he didn't have nearly as much potential as Gohan did, so his Mystic form is way weaker. Except Goku still has another trick up his sleeve to turn the tide of this battle, the Kaioken. Goku still has mastery over the Kaioken, and with his potential unlocked, Goku can now access even higher levels of the Kaioken, with much less strain. I know this is probably a long shot, but I believe that Goku could probably reach times 100 with all of his potential unlocked. Remember, Goku mastered the Kaioken a long time ago, and now with no holds barred, I'm pretty sure he can now use the technique at its highest peak. Having Goku multiply his power 100-fold really messes with Buuhan, and he is knocked around badly. Goku is trying very hard not to kill the Majin, as he does still want to save his son. If he kills Buuhan, then there's no way to bring Gohan back, so he needs to do everything he can to save him. With every hit Goku lands, he spreads ki throughout Buuhan's body, trying to find Gohan, which he eventually does. He can't get to him though, as he's still inside of Buu, so Goku allows himself to be absorbed, and similar to Vegito, he summons a barrier around himself, that way he can get inside of Buu, and rescue Gohan. Buu reverts back to his fat form and is terrified, not knowing what to do next. Goku tells Buu to stop doing evil things, or he will instantly eradicate him. Now, since this is Fat Buu, he says he won't do any more evil deeds, and can heal up his friends if he wants. Goku is extremely confused, as like, wait, that actually worked? It did actually work, and Buu goes up to heal all of the unconscious Z fighters. After he heals them all back up, he tells Goku that he's happy to help, as long as Goku doesn't try to kill him anymore. Everybody has no idea what to do, and Goku just thanks Buu for not killing anybody. As remember, the moment Buu was freed, the Z fighters attacked him, he didn't actually kill anybody this time. He only absorbed Gohan out of self-defense, so even he can't be too mad at him. Buu becomes a good guy, and Shin is very weary of him, but Goku promises to he'll watch after him himself. And if he causes any more trouble, then he'll end him on the spot. Shin trusts Goku, and asks if anybody wants to go back up with him to become a new apprentice Kai, as Kibito is now gone. Now, while everybody wants to get stronger, the apprentice Kai life seems very boring to them, so they'll all just stay on Earth for now. Shin returns to Earth, and life goes back to normal for the Z fighters. With Buu around, Vegeta and Nappa are angry at themselves for allowing themselves to be controlled, and now strive to be even better people. That way they don't need to be villains anymore. Buu and Goku train together more, and Buu loves fighting strong people, so in no time, he permanently resorts to his thin form, which is a huge surprise to everybody. He still does nap for a very long time though, no amount of training is ever going to fix that. After a few more years, Bulma throws her birthday party, and Beerus arrives looking for the Super Saiyan God. The birthday party goes mostly as normal, with Buu still angering Beerus with the pudding as normal, and Beerus tries to destroy everybody. The Saiyans this time have no way to know how to get the God form, as they don't have the Dragon Balls around to ask Shenron, meaning they all just have to fight him off themselves. Beerus easily mops the floor with everybody, and the only thing that piques Beerus' interest is when Goku goes Kaioken, as that looks a lot like what he saw in his dream. Could this be the Super Saiyan God? No, that can't be. He's far too weak, and doesn't have any God Ki. Beerus is ready to destroy the whole planet, but Whis stops him. Whis says that these Saiyans are supposed to be his greatest rivals, and if he kills them all now, then how is that going to happen? Perhaps that just means training them up so they can truly become the gods that the Oracle Fish predicted. Beerus is against training, but says that Whis should do it himself, and if they don't become Super Saiyan gods by the next year, then he'll blow up this whole planet. Beerus and Whis kidnap the most promising Saiyans, who are Goku and Gohan, and leave the others behind, saying they're very lucky to have not been killed. Goku and Gohan are forced to begin training with Whis, and it's really not bad at all, and since the father and son work so well together, Goku and Gohan achieve Super Saiyan God in no time. With Gohan still being an android, he excels very far ahead through training, and is the one to face off against Beerus when he asks for the battle. Gohan and Beerus have a very intense battle of gods, with Beerus obviously being the one to come out on top, but he's very impressed with Gohan, as he put up an even better fight than Goku did in canon. Beerus is satisfied and lets the two go home, with Goku promising to come by every so often and train up there with Whis. Only he could instantly travel there though. That would make things much easier and him much stronger. Goku and Gohan return to Earth, and Resurrection F doesn't happen, as there are no Dragon Balls anywhere for the Frieza Force to use, meaning Frieza stays dead here. That leads us to the Universe 6 tournament, where the bracket is going to be a little different. Gohan isn't as involved in his work as in canon, so right from Goku's house, Goku, Gohan, Buu, and Raditz will be joining the tournament. Monaka is still pulled as in canon, since Beerus still thinks that these guys need some motivation. Buu manages to pass the test this time, as studying with Gohan over these years has given him some form of intelligence, so he is able to join the tournament. Goku is up first with his matches for the most part, playing out as normal, with Raditz stepping in next to fight Frost after Goku is knocked out. Raditz with Super Saiyan 2, Kaioken times 50, does very well against Frost and manages to knock him out easily. This is good for Raditz, as he gets to advance on to the next round. But that means Frost's secret was never discovered, so Goku is now unfortunately out of the tournament permanently. Raditz pretty much goes through the tournament very similar to Vegeta as in canon, even managing to train Kaba and become a Super Saiyan. He of course loses easily to Hit though. Buu is able to come in to fight next, with Hit having a very rough time against Buu. Buu's gotten a lot more powerful through training with the Sun family, and every blow that Hit lands is just absorbed by Buu, similar to how it would be if you punch Botamo. Hit isn't able to use his time skip much on Buu, as all of the hits that he lands have no effect, so Buu's able to take out Hit with really no difficulty. The Universe 6 tournament is pretty much a curb stomp, and now it's time to use the Super Dragon Balls. This time, Goku actually does have a wish. He asks if Kami can be revived, that way the Earth can get their own Dragon Balls. Beerus asks why he would do that, and Goku says that these are much easier to get, and maybe he could just wish for some amazing food every year. Beerus likes the sound of this, and the wish is made. Kami is alive again. Goku is very happy to see his old master, and tells him that they managed to find an even larger pair of Dragon Balls than his, and were able to bring him back. Kami is surprised that there are actually other Dragon Balls out there, and is even more surprised to find out that he's been dead for decades. He has a lot of catching up to do, and hopefully Mr. Popo can give him some good info on everything that's happened. With that, we wrap up the tournament. Now, we're supposed to move right into the Goku Black arc, right? Well, yes. And just warning you now, this is going to be quite depressing. Right after the defeat of Cell, Trunks returns to his future, and uses the emergency shutdown remote to defeat the androids. The androids are successfully defeated, and peace is restored to the future. After 3 more years, Trunks decides to go back into the past and thank everybody for helping him out. Except, once again, Cell arrives and fights off Trunks, and kills him. Remember, nobody knew who Cell was, just that he wanted the androids apparently. And Trunks didn't know that he was a time traveler, so he wouldn't know that Cell was going to show up now. Cell throws away Trunks' corpse and heads off into another timeline, which we are a little bit more familiar with. With Trunks dead and the time machine gone, Bulma is once again left alone for years, until Babidi and Dabura show up. They ravage the planet and probably resurrect Buu, meaning this timeline is taken over by Buu, Babidi, and Dabura. Shin and Gabito would both probably be killed, which means no future Beerus, and the future is very dark. With Trunks not traveling back in time, this means for this timeline, Zamasu takes the body of the strongest during the tournament, Majin Buu. While just chilling with everybody, Buu changes into someone with green skin. Everybody is confused on what exactly happened, as Buu says he didn't do this on purpose. And then suddenly, Buu, Goku, and Raditz are killed. Zamasu showed up and decided to quickly kill those who showed off their strength during the tournament. Gohan is instantly shocked by seeing this. His family just killed right in front of him by Buu? No, this energy is different. What is going on? Gohan erupts in anger, charging Buu Black, and starts to fight him off. Buu Black is obviously no match for Gohan, as an enraged Super Saiyan God Gohan is a good match. Buu gets stronger as his fight goes on though, and he begins to get used to this new body. Just like in the original Goku Black arc, Black got a lot better through training, being able to get access to all of Goku's abilities very fast. So through this battle with Gohan, the same thing should happen here. Buu Black gets stronger and stronger, and even with Gohan not being able to get tired due to his infinite energy engine, Buu Black is able to blindside him, and then unleash his Candy Beam, transforming Gohan into candy. With Gohan transformed into candy, Buu Black shoots a beam at the candy, completely destroying it. Buu Black laughs. He managed to defeat those filthy mortals, and now he can take over the rest of this planet. Buu Black goes throughout Earth, fighting the strongest and killing all of them easily. Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, and Nappa try to fight back, but they're not powerful enough in their regular Super Saiyan states, and are all killed. The entire Earth is destroyed by Buu Black. Even Kami is killed again after he just came back, meaning no more Dragon Balls either. Buu Black then goes off to the future, getting another Zamasu, and they start their Zero Mortal plan as in canon. Future Boo, Bobbity, and Deborah are the only ones to stand in their way, but Boo Black is able to easily kill Bobbity and Deborah, and turn his fat self into candy, eating him, and becoming Super Boo Black. Now, Boo Black and Zamasu travel throughout the timelines, eventually being able to complete their Zero Mortal plan, and with that, we end this timeline. I know, this turned out to be a bad ending. Well, the reason why is because this scenario was always meant to be a bad ending. From the first episode, Krillin not being around was supposed to end terribly. The Z Fighters were able to somehow last for a very long time, but only by the skin of their teeth, and it was only a matter of time before they had to face a threat they finally couldn't defeat. Zamasu and Boo Black were that threat, meaning that this is the end of the timeline. So, I'll reiterate myself from part 1 once again. If Krillin was never around, then the universe would be no more.